Hello world, this is the Rasta Ambassador. My name is Japoni, better known as the badass, the runaway slave. And I'm here today to address the ongoing saga with the Scotch Part saga. Now today, I'm gonna take a different approach. My approach will be asking a series of questions. The questions is addressed to all Rastafari elders, priests, prophet, gatekeeper, and so-called Rasta intellectual, namely those over 50 years old. So I'm not going to be like, for example, I Just Star, who keep speaking ambiguously and speaking muffled. First of all, I want you to look in my face. Look in my eyes. Tell me if you see any fear here of anyone. Tell me if I look like somebody that can be intimidated. I have no no-go zone in the world. Whether here in England, America, Germany, Jamaica, there's no no-go zone for I. So when I speak, I don't have to put my mouth aground. Because I'm man enough, if I say something and it's not correct, I can publicly state I had it wrong. First of all, I keep telling you all that I was sent on missions from Jamaica, 1976. And I returned to Jamaica periodically only for instruction and debriefing. Hence today, everybody is asking, who is Japoni? Because when I come to Jamaica, I come only to links with the, for lacking a better word, the movers and shakers of this movement. I say this now to say that there is still people there in Jamaica that grew up with I, know of the strad. And these are the people now that I'm reaching out to now, these elders. For example, my good brother and fellow soldier, the beast, Lego Beast. Yeah, Lego Beast and I grew up right there in Trenchtown. Rima. If you didn't know, that's where Lego Beast is from, Rima. Jayut also is the original Parkites from Superstar, connected to the Wild Bunch, connected to Eigerberg, connected to Eigler's Rest. So these brethren is brethren of mine. Over there, we have Jaraga, who is roughly. We have Pepper, who is George Pang. All of us work together, to name a few. Over there in Rima, That's my place. There's several youths over there that know of I, but we didn't grow together because most of the original vanguard was on the road. Maximum respect to Tapazuki, the next one of my youth brethren. He's there. He know the history. Now, I get this feeling that the younger generation had silent my generation under craft and intimidation. But first, I want you to take a look at my t-shirt. Look at my t-shirt. That's my t-shirt. See what it say? See what my t-shirt said? Read that. Read it say. Look for me, my friend them. Look how we stand up. Look how we are dealing with the thing. All right. So as you can see, my t-shirt declare, I am my brother's keeper. And you see me have that in my hand. And you see me sidekick at that in my hand. That's how I think that. So now little boy can't intimidate me. Now, respect goes out to Warwick Haile, TV. Respect goes out also to Ida Star. But listen this now, Ida Star. First of all, respect goes out to all bloggers, international and local. I have noticed that all other bloggers have gone silent. Because this is a big league conversation now, you know. And I'm going to ask you now, Ida Star, to stand down. Stand down. Okay? I'm asking you publicly to stand down and stop making a mockery of this movement. I'm asking you again to stand down. And if you're going to come and don't stand down, then you must come and speak direct. Don't speak in tongues. I'm not speaking in tongues. If you have some facts and some evidence, then you should bring them forward. Stop taking other people's narrative and reconstruct it to suit your agenda. This is a Rastafari crisis. This is not a bubble crisis. But because you keep making it a bubble crisis, then I'm going to address it now from a bubble perspective. And I'm afraid you will have no leg to stand on. Before I come on just now, I have been taking counsel. And everybody tell me, leave Ida Star alone because I have no sense. That's how, check your comments. That's what people is telling you, but you have never come forward with a reasoning to make people look and say, well, you know something. You're doing nothing. You're a baby to this. So when you hear I, the ambassador, talk, go do some research. Just don't hear what Kabu know about Rastafari movement and its origin. What Muta Baruka know about Rastafari movement and its origin. What Bongo Miguel know about Rastafari movement and its origin. What Priest Ivy know about this liberty. Can you not see that all the founding fathers have passed away and never really guide the youths them what this trad was about. So now we have everybody now with their own interpretation of what this is supposed to be about. Now, Haile Bunny is not here to tell you anything about what I personally feel. What I personally feel, I keep it to myself. Yeah. My personal feelings regarding this movement and the saga, I keep it to myself. All I did was try to point out what I think the problem is and where it starts. So now, I'm going to show you now my evidence. But before I show you my evidence, I have a series of questions that I want to get answered to. So now, since you, like I said, this question is for the over 50. But I just start seeing the sub right, then you can join the over 50 too and help answer these questions. Is it not true that Bongo Watto, better known as Ras Boanerges, and Bongo Eddie, better known as Prince Edward Emmanuel, established the Ethiopian African International Congress, order of the Nyahbingi, in 1958? I would like the scholars them to come now and tell the world that it wasn't these two elders that formed these two churches. Now, Bongo Watto and Bongo Eddie used to hold Groundation together. You hear what them used to hold? Groundation. Not Nyahbingi. Me used to go at Groundation, where all of the elders, them, Sam Brown, Planner, Center Fox, Historian, Irie Lion, Ister Rani, Jalide, Gadman. I used to go to Bingi and Groundation with all of these men. Now, I remember I say Miguel and them Groundation there. I remember I see Muta at any of the Groundation where me used to go. I don't say never go to Groundation, and I don't say Miguel never go. I tell you now, say I never remember I see them man there. But personally, I used to say, Bongo Jerry. Right. Moving, next question. Is it not true that Bongo Eddie Camp was left standing 1966 after Bakawal was bulldozed down? True or false? No, we want to get to the roots of the problem, the crux of the problem, because we keep a kick on the ball and we are kick it over Bingi, and we are kick it over Bobo, and we are kick it over Mali. But when the camp, when Bakawal was bulldozed down, Bob Marley never did nowhere near Rasta and Rasta affair. Okay? So we can't draw them in it yet. True or false? When Bakawal get licked down, was Bongo Eddie Camp flattened? That is the question that I need now Not you, Ida Star, or not even any of the younger Ras. I just want to straight up and get the thing now on the right format. So this is a question now to Big Youth, Jai Youth, Lego Beast, The Beast, Muta, Bongo Jerry, and Kaboo as a research person. Go into the archive and come tell the world whether or not the Bongo camp did not leave standing 1966. Now, we need to establish that. Next. After, I do my homework. That's why I show no me I move today. I got start. Let me head start. Get now with it. Look at this. This is a dossier given to me by Martin Planner and sent to Fox. The reason why most of you were elder, we are run up on the mouth and like you know people business, won't talk and come challenge I. Because you name in this. Me have on a file right here. See that? All I know, me have on a file in here. Because I was instructed not to trust you. Yeah. I was instructed not to trust you. Open on the mouth and then me draw out on a file. So me ask you to come clear up the record. Me ask you to come clear up the record so the youth them can get back on the right track. Because it's Uno was silent, allowing the chaos who are going on the movement now. Because you know the truth, but somehow on a licky attitude, get the thing stalemate and on court the game. So now, after the king visit, so we know when the king visit. After the king visit, Bongo Eddie have made no public appearances since 1966. Bongo Eddie have made, after the king visit, he had made no public appearances. So the only people who did have access to Bongo Eddie is I and I from Bakawal, I and I from Tivoli Garden, I and I from West Kingston, I and I from Trenchtown. We had access to Bongo Eddie. We know who Bongo Eddie and Capo, we have access to all these people. Yeah? Now, Bongo Eddie died at Bakawal, 1970. Bongo Eddie died. Bongo Eddie died. Bongo Eddie died at Bakawal. The Bobo them refused to bury Bongo Eddie and have him there on the altar for over a week. The whole Jamaica, especially country people where have to go and market, them passing at them bus and them truck, and the way the camp is situated, they could look over the fence and see the Bobo them surround Bongo Eddie and telling people saying not dead, them a go rise, a chant, them a chant, rise them up. Bongo Eddie start ratting on the altar in front of them. Knockilate up the place. Till the people them in a Tivoli garden in a Java are behind the camp. My yard there. My yard still there behind the camp. When the rest of them wouldn't call in Madden, I tell you already. The community reported to Eddie Siago, because Eddie and Eddie we are talking about now, but one a Bongo Eddie and one a Eddie Siago. Eddie Siago call him friend Joe Williams. Joe Williams, Denham Town Police Station, is just opposite Bongo Eddie Camp. So it was no drama. Police are right in the station, they right with the camp there, opposite each other. If you never know me, I'm telling you now. Yeah? Now, Joe Williams called for a tractor. Go over the camp, stick it up. That was a big drama then. We never have no iPhone and we never have no social media to record these things. So the whole people them gonna forget it now because it's a good idea now. That took place. All you have to do, go ask the youth and Lego Beast if that never take place. Now, Joe Williams stick up the camp, Carleen Madden, take away Bongo Eddie body. That was the last time anybody see Bongo Eddie. Then Joe Williams just say, a matter of fact, run the tractor through that blood clot. That him say. Exact word him say. Yeah? Now, the thing get flattened. Me keep telling us a lie, when a Rasta tell lie. Is this bag a lie when I keep a tell? Catch up with you now. Another land as catch part of the problem is the bunch of lie. Wanna keep telling the world. After a while, none of it makes sense. Okay? Now, when you move from down a Spanish Town Road, a back a wall, and you go Davis Lane, through our falls. A lie me I tell? Now, after you upper Davis Lane, because you don't want to talk the thing them. Bobo, you don't want to talk the thing them. One night, you know, me tell you something. So me give you some history so you can recall. You see, Jalai brother when name Archie, you, Bongo Jerry, you can't verify this now. Because I now lick my chest, me I telling you now. You see, Jalai brother, Archie, him and my brethren, they're good, better known as Kiki Berry. Because them man they, the whole away, under Jalai order in the militancy. But Kiki Berry and Archie catch up. And Archie bust a shot and shoot off. Kiki Berry bust a shot and shoot off Archie and Jalai brother. Bongo Jerry, you know about that. That night, when after that incident, and I drive past the Bobo camp in a Davis Lane. And when the way I come through, we in Aston Cambridge, them time the Aston Cambridge. And the rest them out of the gate. See and the light a come down the lane, and thinks it was police. And them put a whole heap of fire upon we. Lightning, fire, thunder. Yeah. The rest them put a whole heap of fire upon we. Yeah. And when we drive, can we hear them, you know? I say to each other, how would them boy there put fire and lightning pan? What them want to show them some lightning and fire? As fun. We just circle back and go back to the lane and come out and stick up the whole lane. Yeah. And just kick them up. Yeah, we never shoot them, we just kick them up and make them say, yo. No on the lane. So I just start, I make you know these things. So we don't play with people. Now, moving along. 1974, because up the south, where them there in Davis Lane, I in the heart of the thing. In the heart of the pepper zone. Them time there. Up there so hot like fire. Bongo Jerry can tell you about them time there in a ghost town, in the dust. No light no up in them place there. No light no up in there. A tinning lamp, a running thing. Yeah? So now, the pressure reach over them up in the sun. And the whole heap of chanting, and the whole heap of nights all night and all these things in the dust. Never go work. So they have to take with themselves. Now, is it not true? Because me una true word. But the kind of word we not true now, una go on like una own bubble hill. I capture, una capture that. Yeah. So una talk about capture land, a scotch part and land. When una depend capture land, me already tell una say, if una lose scotch part, una go and lose bubble hill too. Because capture land that. Scotch part and a capture land. That was given and is now being taken back. No man have no right to bubble hill. A capture or no capture that. On can't show no paper for that. So you must know what an actual stone and actual word. Yeah? The government allow you to stay on the hill. But all them have to do, you know, is just declare say something are going up there when nothing go on. Why you think when the police go up there, we have to let them in? Why you think when the police go up there, we have to let them in? Because capture land. If we never tell police that them can't come to the camp, we have to move up that. Yeah? So don't come get bright. You either star and you don't have no paper for sure how this thing a run. Now, moving again. After we move from Davis Lane and go capture island at Bull Bay, since then, we have manufactured a series of self-serving cultural events. You hear me say, do? Manufactured, we just tell lie, pan top a lie. Pay lie, you keep a tell the public. First, we start say we have an invisible helper. Our elder is invisible. Nobody can me tell you saying dead already for 1970. Nobody. All our little boys. Yeah. Little boys like Capitan, Sizzler, and Tony B, Ida Star. All our little boys. No can't come say you never see Emmanuel publicly. No. The challenge you know. No. Can't come tell the world that you ever have a discourse with this Emmanuel. Bongo Eddie. But lie me I tell, thunder roll and broke my neck. Me say, if I lie me I tell, thunder roll and broke my neck. What I say? Thunder roll and broke my neck. If I lie me I tell. No, little boys. And I said that to say, Bongo Watto And Bongo Eddie was two Rastaman elder that was stand against reggae music. Martin Planner violate the order when him encouraged Bob Marley to sing reggae song. It was against the order. And when I say the order of Bongo Watto and Bongo Eddie. What did Bongo Eddie instruct on to do? Be self-sufficient. Make broom, make straw, make mat, make belt, make craft. You know, that the elder did instruct on to do. Now, me want to know, and on of it established now amongst yourself, who give Bobo the order to come start sing reggae music? And that's right there. Who give Bobo the order to come start sing? You don't notice say all of them man they will sing reggae music and I talk about them a prophet and priest. You don't realize that none of them know they are Bobo Hill. You don't see the conflict. All of the man them were Bobo singer. Phantom Moja, Anthony B, Sizzler, all of them. Luciana, same a prophet. You know, see the whole of them were artists. It's a self-serving and a self-appointed thing them do. Why they were able to do that? Because there was no sergeant of arms, there was no vanguard to enforce. When them boys they come on tour and see how them trembling up. Yeah, them tremble because me ask them question like, yo, how you come here do this? Who are paying to do these things? Yeah. And them dumb. But because I'm a youth, and I was once a youth, and I was once a zealous youth, the difference between I and these youth is that elders did take I and program I direct our badness to and work our badness. Hence, my brethren, Tapazuki, when Virgin say, them are going to put him on shelf, we my 13 step to them and go take forward contract. We never put that on YouTube. We never put that on social media. You know why? That there was no social media then. So now, what I realize is this generation of youth now live for social media. So everything them do, it depends on social media. And my generation now afraid of social media. You notice, me no put on a dark glass, and you can see in my eye them, look on it. Do I look like a man with a fan sound mind? Do I look like I am comatose? Do I look like I don't know what I'm talking about? Again, see one of the days here, me have a suitcase, you know, a record, a suitcase. These things I want to pass them on, but I can't find no one to pass them on. So, you see if I should have dropped dead right now, all Babylon I come do is take the contents of my house for safekeeping and Babylon just lock that down and none of you can come feet. Yeah? And my youth, them, definitely don't want it. We are a very sad. We are at a very sad juncture in the trad. So now, you, either star, come, you are my punching line today, cause you come see your defend. But you would have want to tell the world publicly that after 1966, just look what kind of youth you is, you know. After 1966, you want to come tell the world that Haile Selassie I visit Jamaica personally to go instruct Emmanuel. You see how far-fetched you carry this lie to? And you publicly keep saying that. Even though I tell you, even though you hear, and no one come, hey, some elder for come talk so the youth can know, so I know me alone know the thing, you know. Yeah, some elder for come talk, some elder for come tell the youth them the truth, so them can get back the thing in order and take instruction, because it's this freestyle kind of thing. Make the thing gone. You know what, it's been a address scotch part and what go on now, because the thing bigger than scotch part. The thing is that all elders have been compromised. All elders. Again, look at my t-shirt. See it? Bet before the sun. No compromising around here. So what am I going to do now? My youth come chat up him mouth, so I'm going to do something now to make him overstand now, so I'm not just chat. I'm going to make the elder them come tell him a thing or two. Watch this all go down now.
Jah Rastafari, give thanks and praise unto the Most Mighty I. The ever-living Father and the Prince of Peace, who live and reign forever and ever. The great I am, which was, and which is, and now live forever and ever. Blessed be Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie I. The first, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning without end, the first and forever.
Yes, give thanks and praise. This is Malika Lee Whitney. I'm about to conduct a reasoning with Ras Boanerges, who is an ancient elder in the ancient order of Nyahbingi. This occasion is a very special one because it precedes a delegation of Rastafari brethren and sistren who will be traveling throughout the United States of America, sharing and spreading the word of Rastafari to various communities. For those who may not be familiar, what exactly is Rastafari?
Rastafari, to know Rastafari is a very, 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 very great thing, to know Rastafari. And what make a man to be Rastafari? What give one that inspiration to become that sons of the Almighty is when you to recognize the fear of the Lord Almighty Most High. When you recognize the fear of Jah. The fear of Jah is the beginning of wise mind. That is one of the first steps of one who can really accept the gift and the wisdom of Jah, Rastafari, when one fear the Lord Jehovah Most Mighty High with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your mind. The fear of Jah is the beginning of wise mind, a good understanding, make a one strong in the wisdom of Jah. So this is what one should understand, how the gift of Jah come, in the fear. The heart must fear Jah, and that is secret of the tabernacle of the Most High. That's where the grounding internal inspiration, when one gathered the truth, and when one reached to the height of hearts, that you understand the fullness of the creation. It is just that thing only appear to you by a minute. Some born with it. Some have to learn of it. But the full foundation, the fear of Jah, is the beginning of wise mind. A good understanding of all they that keep his commandment.
Now, the term Rastafari itself, is that name, does it have a specific meaning, the words Rastafari?
The word Rastafari have a very specific meaning. As the eye says to his disciples in the Emperor of Jesus and the departure, he says, O ye men of Galilee, why stand gazing at I, seeing that the same man, Jesus Christ, that
I want you to know,
in like manner. And when
I want you to know that I, Jabone, the ambassador, in conjunction with Dr. B, Dr. Desta, and Kojo Brown, Solomon Wolf, we lay the foundation for this struggle to take place because of what was happening at the time to I and I captured soldier in the system in America. The elders came forward to try and establish I and I rights. Now, several houses come together to make presentation.
Himself represent the fourth generation, who shall not pass away until all be fulfilled. Then this man now, Haile Selassie, declare himself Rastafari in the coronation. That is to say, the prophecy revelation second, and he hath a name in a stone which no man knoweth but he of himself, and he of himself shall reveal it. And at 1930, at the establishment of the resurrection, His Majesty Haile Selassie revealed this name, Rastafari.
Haile Selassie would represent the Godhead to all those who embrace Rastafari. Is that correct?
Yes. His Majesty Haile Selassie is the Godhead, the Trinity.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? His Majesty is the Godhead. Not God, the Godhead. Meaning that the white man seen God through film spectacle. I and I declare him as I and I Godhead. Now, these new generation, starting with the bubble them, start to tell the world now, say, him a God. Him already declare that he's not God. So that's where the confusion come. When him come to Jamaica, and I go to meet him at the airport, when him come out and him see how we were, and when the Prime Minister, Donald Sangster, then tell him that we were joyful that our God and King have come. His Majesty was very disturbed. Hence, him give I and I a school because he thought we were that backward. He thought that we was that illiterate to be worshiping a man. He took it one step forward. When he went forward to Ethiopia, he sent the Ethiopian Orthodox Church that baptized him to us. Again, when the church come 1968, back a wall in Ebenezer Church, again, to show you how church building is sacred. When back a wall get lit down, the church was allowed to remain standing. The church is still there, bear my witness. The church, Ebenezer Church, is still there. Ebenezer Church was supposed to be the Ethiopian Orthodox Church HQ. Yeah, the church was there shut all these years, and it was only open because the King of Senate here and the government at the time opened the church, and I, hearing that the King sent us a church, went to the church. The church and the churchyard was full of Rasta. The Abuna of the church, of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, declared to I and I that, one, we have to cut our locks if we want to be a member of that church. The church declared that to us. Two, we cannot pray unto Haile Selassie in that church because the church pray to Jesus Christ, and there's a conflict. And the church was the church who ordained His Majesty as Kings of Kings and Lords of Lords, earth rightful ruler. Now, when I and I hear that, all Rasta at the time, all Rasta, repeat, all Rasta reject the Orthodox Church. The problem that we made then is that all elders went away and formed their own church. You see? So his church is the problem. Bongo Watto go call Fim Church Nyahbingi. Emmanuel go call Fim one Congress. Jalai go call Fim one Judah Coptic. Father Gooden go call Fim one, forgot when they call Fim one, Father Gooden. I don't want to talk about Father Gooden again, but Father Gooden got farm Fim one with the bakery out of 3 Mile. Gadman called Fim one 12 tribe of Israel. Center Fox called Fim one Babita Christian Church of Haile Selassie. And From that time till this time, church worshiping and becomes the issue. Now, you have Rasta, we stand predominant in the liberation struggle. I, let us show them youth and how we deal with it. I respect all order. I defend Rastafari. I defend it. That's why I'm here today speaking. We defend it. I never say, boy, fire burn for 12 tribe, fire burn for Bobo, fire burn for Bingi. Where that come from? No. It was a liberation struggle through spiritual, fighting spiritual in high and low places.
There's also historical information relative to the line of kings out of which His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie evolved. Could you explain and elaborate on that as well in terms of the throne line?
Yes, pertaining to His Majesty and the throne line from King David, as Jah had placed David as a foundational power in Ethiopia, to really as a royal lineage where all the kings that shall rule upon David's throne must come through David's line. No other line which is not set there that no one could really have any other family, because sometime in such early ages BC, there was, according to Jeremiah chapter 22, you'll find that Colossus, which was he was trying to be on that throne, and Jah had placed a curse upon him that from there he was not lawful to sit on the throne of David. But the family and the royal family of King David, that's the family that Almighty Jah chose to really bring forth fruit to sit upon that throne until this day. Coming up from David to Solomon, and Solomon 2 sons, and coming up till Solomon 3 sons, and out of the 3 sons, it was only one royal son that Jah highlight to shine the light, which is a high priest in Ethiopia, being work with Solomon in that Zadoka, the high priest. Well, that high priest Zadoka's son is he who and Solomon's son removed the Ark of the Covenant of the Tabernacle out of Solomon's house and return it to Ethiopia. And that meaning it was the glory of all kings and the glory of all kingdom.
Now, for many to really follow the tradition of Rastafari, it would be essential that they have a special awareness of the Bible. There are others who speak of the Bible as a version, as something written not to be taken fully in account. How do you see that?
And I see in the Bible is the black man history. As we have been heard long ago, and even then the prophecy have shown us these things. And if you even taste it within your own self, taste it within your own heavens and see. Psalms 58 says, if shall every man born with the spirit of truth, but as soon as they born, they start to go about and tell lie and doing wrongs and forsake the truth. So the truth, which is the spirit of truth, every individual upon the face of creation born with that. But the word of prophecy, that is what to keep you as a guideline that your feet may not slip. The word from Jesus Christ, justice come as the spirit of truth, and his fullness that he administered, it was the word of prophecy. Because it was recorded in prophecy of justice 1,000 a year before he arise. So likewise, that is a tradition from such time. Prophecy, especially the Bible prophecy, is a record that record the lineage of the kingdom of Ethiopia and the kingdom of Babylon likewise. It carries everything. But the readers of today read the Bible without any understanding. Now, Rome is one of them that really overturned the moral knowledge of the creation of the Ethiopian people by slave trade. He brutalized the people.
You hear the man say, Rome. Rome is who overthrew the old trading. The places where all these reggae artists now aspire to go tour. And what grows? And what reason? Now, I never take up no Bible teaching. Because like me tell you, say, I never follow the church something there. Me telling already, say, I use the Bible for light with chalice. So this movement and how I stand, we don't stand by the Bible. I never stand by no king order. Yeah, you have to know these things. I no stand by no king order, so no man no come tell me to follow no king. Yeah, we never follow no king. I think was about going forward to a roots and a fig tree. I don't know king with a follow. This is no Bible church thing for talk about we follow Bible teachings and we king and we that no. It wasn't about that fear and I. So now that's why the thing get hijacked. Because the youths them now confused. The Bible confused them. And these so-called elders confuse them. So they take it upon themselves now. Fear do what them think it is about. So now I want some elder be down there. Help. Can't remember, you know, me just one man just come out of the blue moon. I tell him, I say, me ambassador and all these things. People that keep asking, who him? How him come from? How him did there? I'm telling you over and over when me did there. I'm telling you when me did there for 15 years. I'm telling you, say, when me come out of hell, me come find Rastafari movement turn upside down. And me have to step forward, because me never go sell no coke, and me never go sell no heroin, and me never go sell nothing, because me no want no money. Me a want Rasta man when I run down the money. That's why me can talk how me a talk. Me not have no money problem. Look for me. Me look like me have money problem. No, me not have no money problem. So me no guy can buy me out. No guy can compromise me. No guy can wreck. Me not no career for no guy wreck. Yeah. No guy can go on my rear. 15 years me doing that. And no guy couldn't look for my rear. So me out here now, it worse. It worse. So me not have to put him out and go and talk. And like me say, I'm not afraid of nothing.
Sister, you have to use it, but they use it in the wrong way, not to the interpretation of Ethiopia. So we could say today, all mansion we have seen rise up in Rastafari, they rise up through the Nyahbingi. Many brethren rise up, and as soon as they rise, they turn aside to farm different houses. And that's how it goes. That even up to now, you have several houses. And you see, soon as they depart from us and set up other houses, they doesn't give that churchical divine taste. You know why? Because man rather material more than spiritual. But the Nyahbingi also remain in the spiritual standard to release continually the tradition and the liberty And that we find many other mansion short of. Many mansion short of that, the Albine liberty of the order of the Nyahbingi, which was the order of Melchizedek.
Are there occasions when the houses get together, either to worship or to share and discuss matters of humanitarian concern? Does that happen?
Yes, I have times such as we have a time like the 21st of April, time like the 23rd of July.
These are special occasions for Rastafari. Can you specify what they are?
Yes, these are specific time that when we gather together.
What do the dates specifically represent? Like what happened on April 21st and July 23rd for those who might not know?
Yes. April 21st is that day when His Majesty visit Jamaica. And as the scripture say, mark ye the month of Abib, which is a very specific month. And so we are seeing. Because before His Majesty reached in Jamaica here, I used to worship on the first day of April. So His Majesty came and full of work on the 21st of April. Mark is from the 1st to the 21st. So we step up from the 1st onto the 21st. So this visit that His Majesty pay us in Jamaica here on the 21st of April 1966. And that is a remarkable. And so we keep it as an anniversary yearly from that time until now. From ever since 1930 until now coming up, we celebrate His Majesty's birthday, which is the 23rd of July. And we celebrate November 11th, the coronation of His Majesty. We celebrate African Liberation Day, May the 25th. These are specific celebrations that we make mention and have large gathering where people get money, inspiration, lifting up people out of darkness to light. These are what we clarified and keep up all years from 1930 even up until this time.
Now, within the various houses, could one observe leadership, if you will? Like, is there someone appointed as a leader in the Nyahbingi house? Is there a leadership role in the other houses as well? Or is it a collective of ones who spiritually rally around and embrace this tradition?
The Nyahbingi house doesn't ordain one of our brethren for no leadership. The Nyahbingi house hold the order of the Haile one, which people call the elder. Nyahbingi house said the Haile ones. That's what Nyahbingi house really graduate, the knowledge and power and wisdom of Jah. To adore the Haile one. From ends time, Jah call upon the Haile one, which people say again, the elders. In many part of Revelation, you see where Jah call upon the elders, such as Revelation 20, where he said, there's 24 elders sit around about the throne of the Almighty Eye. And the elders said, and the four beasts, and the elders arise and said, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, glory and honor and power and might and dominion unto Him that liveth forever and ever. So from thence now we know that the Haile one is the one who to minister the tabernacle of the Most High. Jah called unto Moses, say unto Moses, gather all the elders together and give them the authority that they may have to judge among the people and set the people in order. Whatsoever the people cases or complain, the elders have the authority to really set them right and place justice among the nation.
If you're just joining us, this is Malika Lee Whitney. I'm very much involved in being enlightened by a reasoning with Ras Boanerges, who represents the ancient Nyahbingi order. And here in the United States of America, on an occasion where the tradition, the genuine, authentic traditions of Rastafari will be shared with those who have the blessings to observe. We'll return in just a moment. And if you'd like more information...
Of thy power. From the womb of the morning, there was a dew of thy youth. Just sown and shall not repent. I are priest forever after the order of Melchizedek.
11 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock here at 1190 AM WLIB in New York. It's a great pleasure and a great privilege to have with us as our special guests in studio 3 elders of the Rastafari, and I hate to use the term religion and use the conventional Western definitions of what Rastafari is, but we have 3 elders of the Rastafari community who are here with us from Jamaica. It's a pleasure and a privilege to welcome Bongo Pito, Bongo Time, and Bongo Sam Brown, who are all here with us in studio this morning. Thank you all very much for being with us. I should let the audience know, first of all, that the Rastafari community here in New York is presenting an evening of Nyahbingi cultural consciousness, a Rastafarian family reunion tomorrow evening, Wednesday, June 29th, as part of the African Street Festival at Boys and Girls High School, 1700 Fulton Street, between Schenectady and Utica Avenues in the borough of Brooklyn, and that begins at 6 p.m. Gentlemen, let me ask you first of all, because I think a lot of people are privy, particularly in the United States, are privy to a lot of misconceptions about what Rastafari is. And I know that part of your mission in coming to the United States is to clear up some of those misconceptions. Can you tell us what you hear are the greatest misconceptions about Rastafari?
One of the misconceptions that we see are things that bothers the minds of the public at all times is the feeling within the world of people is that Rastafari is not God, and Emperor Selassie is dead, and return to Ethiopia as a myth. So, our explanation to those things is, for instance, I speak the last one first. The return to the land of Ethiopia. When I speak of Ethiopia, I mean all continent of Africa, because Ethiopia means land of the blacks. The return to Ethiopia is a statement of fact, for this reason that the Bible has said that each and every nation must again inhabit their own vine and fig tree. And the black man knows that he's not a product of the West. We are only sojourners here in foreign territory. The time must come and all black people must go back to the land that white people call Africa.
Yes, you hear that? I have fulfilled that trad because, and that's one of my teachers, you know, Sam Brown. He was a political thinker. He was also commander for the militant side of the struggle. Because from whence the independence come, the first election that took place in Jamwan, the People's Party he run as a Rasta man out of Bakawal, representing I and I. So, me come up and go and talk. As I said, I and I was...
It was said, or it is said, as will be corroborated by my brethren.
Greatest misconceptions about Rastafari?
One of the misconceptions that we see are things that bothers the minds of the public at all times is the feeling within the world of people is that Rastafari is not God, and Emperor Selassie is dead, and return to Ethiopia as a myth. So our explanation to those things is, for instance, I speak the last one first. The return to the land of Ethiopia. When I speak of Ethiopia, I mean all continent of Africa, because Ethiopia means land of the blacks. The return to Ethiopia is a statement of fact, for this reason that the Bible has said that each and every nation must again inhabit their own vine and fig tree. And the black man knows that he's not a product of the West. We are only sojourners here in foreign territory. The time must come when all black people must go back to the land that white people call Africa. I say Ethiopia. Well, as to the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie, it was said, or it is said, as will be corroborated by my brethren, Revelation 19 declares that on his vesture and his thigh is a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. 2,000 years ago, there was only one person that bears such a title, and that was Jesus Christ the Messiah. He said again that I shall return, this is biblical writ, I shall return again in a new name, which shall be dreadful and terrible among the heathen. If you say Jesus Christ to the ordinary man on the street, it doesn't strike a sense of terror. If you say Emperor Haile Selassie, it doesn't strike a sense of terror either. But if you say Rastafari, people are weak heart, even drop dead. It sounds, you see, that's the name that is known as a dreadful and terrible name, the name that is dreadful and terrible among the heathen. The people who does not want to believe in divinity of Rastafari tremble at the name. So I knows it has been spoken again in Acts 2:29 that out of the line of Jesse will I rise earth's rightful ruler to again sit on the throne of his father David. We have always heard Jesse being spoken of, a black man being spoken of as a black like Jesse a hell gate. So I knows that coming out of the line of Jesse to again inhabit the throne of his father David, it have to be a black line. So hence Emperor Haile Selassie, which name means power or strength of the Trinity. Nobody don't bear that name except God himself. Rastafari being the Lord of righteousness, our head one, head creator. So we are not really in doubt of what we speak or defend. The Rastaman knows that his philosophy is the only one that's going to rule the world tomorrow. Not in the form of brutality or autocracy, but in the form of righteousness, because the whole world is searching for the truth today. We don't see people really. There might be a few people who profit in the death of others, like generals and warmongers who profit when youths die because they sell more arms and get richer. But the general mass of people today, black, white, yellow, and red, is seeking peace. The general mass of people today seeks intercommunication one with another. Each people should seek to learn of each other. Each from another should a little culture borrow. Then when all cultures are blended in one way, life for all humanity will be a glorious holiday.
Sure. Rastafari.
So,
well, I wanted to ask you in terms of, because you mentioned the misconception of the divinity of Emperor Haile Selassie, but when you look at newspaper articles here in New York City, when they do write about Rastafari, what they end up talking about is linking it with violence, linking it with drugs, linking it with all of this behavior that, again, makes people very nervous when they hear the word Rastafari or when people are described as Rastafarians. I remember reading an article in one of the newspapers that mentioned they were raiding a house that they thought Rastafarians were living in. And they came there armed to the teeth because, and they quoted one policeman that said, Rastafarians are a violent group of people. Now, I've been to Jamaica, and I tend to have a very different personal view. But how do you deal with that misconception on the part of so many people, even on the part of African people that live in New York?
You need an answer from I?
We Rastafarian are non-violence and a whole. And concerning drugs, and I do not take part in drugs. The faith is a divine and righteous scenery. It is the first this Western world I've ever seen the light of righteousness unto the people. For as it was before the beginning, as it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end. And the first country that ever administered a righteous government was Africa, Ethiopia, which they now call Africa. One can record the Ark of the Covenant that was administering during the days of David and even Samuel and his brethren. It was a divine administration. Well, this divine administration has been brute forcefully beat out of the culture and the concept of black people, and they were taught all kind of evil concepts. And up till now, when the Rastaman rise, because the government of this Western Hemisphere don't want the people to realize the fullness thereof, they carry all kind of false doctrine concerning the faith. But we within ourselves are genuine peoples, non-violence. This is the tenor of our faith. We are non-violence, non-aggressive, non-abusive. If we were a violence people, there would be not one Rastafari man left in Jamaica, especially the world now. For all of us would be devastated out through the system that I and I is around. But because of our non-violence scenery, they can't hurt us in that effect. So they just have to try to victimize I and I through material economics pressures and the like. But we're definitely non-violence people. We don't produce violence and drugs. We don't use drugs in no ways, for we regard our heavens as the machine of our whole temple, which you would call the body. And if you have a machine in the engine room of your whole temple, you should try to keep it perfect, that you can be able to administrate everything through correctly and uprightly. But you find drugs will contaminate the whole heavens. And let you start think all kind of evil and wrong way. So we are against all these concepts.
I see. Let me ask you this, because I know that it's not often that elders of Rastafari travel outside of Jamaica. Am I right about that?
True,
I mean,
true.
Why now? And I know that also, and I know, again, a lot of times people have a tendency to misinterpret, but there was I had heard from people that Rastafarian people didn't particularly care to even travel in airplanes. But I don't know that that's a tenet of the faith. You understand what I mean? I don't know that that's part of that. It may just have been on the part of some people who happen to be members of the Rastafari community.
You understand?
Well, coming through the ages, through traveling and plane and things like that, well, even up till now, you have some of I and say, boy, I not do that, I not do that. But coming through then, when you're a child, you act as a child, and when you come a man, you put away childish things. I know within this time, I have to move with a ship, plane, or car. For in 1966, when our King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, the creator, came to Jamaica, I see we are in take a aeroplane. Ride, and I did have a chorus long before that. When my pilot come, I'll take an aeroplane drive. Now, we are not in the mystic world. We are natural people, and we are in the natural world. So, you see, this understanding about this. So, someone said we would ride on lightning. Man used to say that first when I declared of this. For true, the faith was so nice and all thing. But coming up, each one teach one daily. And as what I've said already, we put away all those things and come natural to the people. For it is written, all eyes shall see the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem when Jah Rastafari shall bring again his people. Selah.
This is the time when the gathering of black people worldwide must be, hence our chapel. And I never at no time forget the modernization of the world and the means of travel. That's why I say we travel on the wings of the wind. The aeroplane is the wings of the wind.
Sure, and so on.
Can I ask, perhaps one or all three of you to talk about one event, because I've read about it, but I've never heard about it from someone who was there. What was it like when Emperor Haile Selassie came to Jamaica in 1966? I know that may be difficult for you to conceptualize, but I think our audience would really like to know what feelings, what was going through your minds on that day.
It was the greatest thing that ever take place in the whole earth. The greatest event of any monarch visiting anywhere.
Greatest.
We have seen Queen Elizabeth come to Jamaica, and the reception that she got from black people, especially those brainwashed, was immense. But what happened the day when Emperor Haile Selassie landed in Jamaica? There were many mysterious things that took place that day. It come like the whole world stood still that day. It come like all Jamaica came out to welcome the king. When you were at the Palisades airport, you had to go around a bend of 13 miles to see the cement factory. And as far as your eye could see across the sea, there was people. Half hour before the king came, there was pouring rain. Everyone was wet to the skin, but no one broke ranks. And before the king reached there, everyone was dry as a chip. The advent of the king signal white birds forming a victory sign preceding the king's plane. Man light ganja is one of our sacred things. Man light ganja under the nose of the king plane when it just come, that officials run. Officials of the airport run away and say, this is explosion. Man light a whole newspaper to light the type of pipe that was there, and nothing happened. When we speak of Emperor Haile Selassie, we speak of the man who trapped the live bomb. Not even Pele is such a footballer. The king trap a live bomb and make it a thing of no danger. So truly, a one who can do that, it must be the divine one.
Sure. Without dispute.
Okay.
Greatest thing we ever see, man.
Greatest in history. Mm-hmm. Even Jamaica will have that on record for Rastaman control the whole government of the island for 1 hour without having one sticker matches or having one knife in his hand to hurt anyone.
3 days we were lord and masters of Jamaica.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to ask you, gentlemen, what the significance of music is in Rastafari.
What kind of music?
Again, I don't want to, promulgate misconceptions. Most people feel that reggae music is directly coming from Rastafari, but I've done some reading and found that there were other musics going back years, things like mento, I believe, and other forms of music that were also part of Rastafari. So I didn't want to say simply reggae music and have that misconception go forward.
Well, reggae is the in thing now. It's going out still because Nyahbingi will eventually be the full in thing of the whole world. Mentoskia and all those music that is talking out are black expressions coming out of black people. But this that we're speaking of today, the Nyahbingi, is the culmination of all those efforts bound up together. There are only children coming out of the great root of Nyahbingi. Nyahbingi is the art music.
Divine harder.
Evil can't breach Nyahbingi. Reggae music, ska, and all those music is music that people of immoral behavior could penetrate.
Secularity.
People of immoral behavior cannot penetrate Nyahbingi. Nyahbingi is an order which comes like medicine to the soul of man. And if you're not pure, it lick you down. It hurt you. It do all kind of things. It makes some run mad. It makes some glad, like I and I. We glad over that. But it makes wicked people mad. As to going forward again, a little. Don't watch every man that you see wear locks on their head and depict or designate them Rastafari. Any man can grow his hair in a dreadlock style, because Rasta is the in thing now, so many man profit off that. Many man by growing their head get respect from people outside here when they do not deserve respect. The true Rasta man, the true dreadlocks, is a Rastafarian who defend Rastafarian and philosophy and black supremacy. There are many men out there who are wolves in sheep clothing. Anywhere you see the genuine, you have the counterfeit. So don't really deal with a man from his lax point of view. Mark the perfect man and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace. The Rasta man is not prone to violence. The Rasta man is a man basically of peace. He's not a violent man.
I think people in our audience need to make note of what Bongo Sam Brown just finished saying, that Rasta men are men of peace.
All right. That's my point. That's my reason for playing this. Now, I the star and your friend them. Do you hear what the elder said? And this is not Bongo Eddie, and this is not Bongo Watto. This is Sam Brown, one of my commander. You hear them talk? We is a peace. But at the same time, we have an army. How Uno was able to hijack the thing is because there was none there to defend it and implement what the original order. Why you think I can speak and lick my chest now? Because we stand predominant. Now, like I said, I have made my point. I just want to make one more little point now. I have a brethren that have taken himself from Jamaica long before I, his name is Elder Nakuma, who live in Zimbabwe and a Rastaman from before it was free and is now in captive. But I want him to tell you now why he's in captive. Listen to this.
Yes, Syra, give thanks, Rasta. How is the man? But I have deal with all the runnings. Why things are you know, you have to be in a jail so you know. Yeah, man, I come in a jail yesterday, man. I had to murder sacrifice one, you know, yesterday. Yeah, man, sacrifice him. Because I don't want to sacrifice him, so I have to defend myself. So I'm charged to murder Rasta, so I'm in a jail now. But I'm try to release him man later on, so don't worry, I'm safe. Because we are Rasta and we come for fight Babylon and death to black and white down pressers. We have to sacrifice one yesterday. When they have black oppressor. So that I'm going with, that I'm there, so now I deal with. Struggles. But yeah, man, everything, don't worry about time, man, everything's safe. Jamaica we come from. Rebel soldier we. Revolutionaries we. So we see if Ira. Give thanks, man. Link up. Ira.
Did you hear how happy that brethren is? In that jail for murder. And you hear the man laugh and take it easy. You saw the man have no fear in him voice. You hear the man say, death before dishonor. See, that's a man where they took the vow. We defend it wherever we go. So I just want the youth them to hear how we carry it. We never stay in Jamaica and kill off each other. But we no fear to defend it wherever we go. So hopefully we get the message. Hopefully whosoever can come up with the answers to put this thing back on track and Lego the freestyle type of thing where it's like gonna take up wherever I don't say every man do his thing. That now go work in a Rastafari. So hold tight. I'm going forward on the fence. Again, upon the fence me there.